Hey guys, I've been wanting to do a video with these for a long time, but I finally got the chance to get over to Rob's house. My buddy Rob, say hi, Rob.
Hi.
And we're gonna talk about some of our oldest, most favorite hobbies: Star Wars, lightsabers. I watched Star Wars in '78, and I was a fan ever since. And everybody loves, well, if you love Star Wars, you love lightsabers. It's pretty, par for course. But in the early 2000s, up until the early 2000s, we had plastic lightsabers. Rob, you remember those, right? Where you push them out.
Yeah, the ones you got at the circuses a lot.
Yeah, and they shoot out, and then they got looks like a cheap flashlight light bulb.
After a while, they literally shot out.
Yeah, they would fall. The blades would fly out. We'd smash them up. I remember with my nephews, I bought them a bunch, and we were just wailing on them and destroying them left and right. Like, I'd go to the store and buy new ones every week because we were just destroying them. And they were fun. They eventually got sound too, which was kind of cool. They just give you that experience of lightsabers.
I think they still make them.
Yeah, I think they actually do now. They're like a whole new line of lightsabers that Hasbro puts out, for the kids. And they have better blades now with LEDs and stuff in them too. But again, they're cheaper. They're made for, they're not made for display. So Force FX, I believe, was the company, that actually started making replica. What they called
Master Replica.
Master Replica. You're right. They actually started making replica lightsabers, which is what we have right here.
Which they call the Force Effect line.
They did. They called it the Force FX line because they actually made helmets too.
Yeah.
And like some blasters and stuff. But primarily, this was what we wanted. They were, I think I bought my first one, which was the Mace Windu one, for about 120.
Yeah.
They were all about that price, right?
Well, the Vader and the Anakin, which is the first one and the bottom one in the shot.
This is Anakin here.
They came out for $99.
Okay. And then this is Vader.
That's Vader.
And this is Luke Skywalker's.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi.
Return of Jedi Luke, and then this is episode 3, Mace Windu.
Yeah.
Or 2 and 3.
Yes.
What episode is this? 3 or is this 2?
No, that'd be 1. That'd be 1, 2, and 3.
One he didn't have one.
Well, then it'd be 2 and 3. That's his lightsaber.
That's his lightsaber.
Unless I don't, because it always was blue. So from what I can remember,
Right. I mean, I'm just saying like the actual body, because this is like the replacement of the what do they call those now? The camera, where they hold the camera.
Oh, Garflex.
Garflex, right. So this is a redo of Luke's original Garflex in episode 4, which you have. I think we have one over there, and we'll show some more. And then they just added the collar, the switch here, and this is actually the activation switch, but they made it this little toggle box right here, right? Like that's the actual switch there.
I think it's the thing on the side.
Oh, this side button. Yeah.
Because on Luke's, that's that switch there that you pointed out originally.
And then Vader's.
It's where you pointed out originally on the other one.
It's up here, but they use this again to activate it for this series. So when this series came out, it was really cool. We jumped on a bunch of them, right? Like I think we all got some.
Yeah.
And we were swinging them around. It says on the box not to duel with them, but anybody.
Well, the reason why they said that is that you pop LEDs.
Right, and I remember because my Mace had popped LEDs all the way through, and I was just kind of.
I think my Return of the Jedi Luke has a dimming LED. I wouldn't say pop, but
it goes in and out.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit put off by the fact that a couple smacks and the LEDs went. I remember because I put it back in the box, and I put it in my closet, and I didn't mess with it for a long time. I was really upset about that because it was like, damn, there goes. I can't even display it now.
Yeah.
And these blades don't come out
easily.
I mean, you have to actually take the whole thing apart to get these out for the most part. I remember because finally, a couple years ago, I redid my Mace Windu. I took the whole thing apart, put a whole new LED system in there, a whole new blade, just so that I could have a nice looking saber.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I made mine yellow and not purple.
Because you couldn't wait.
Right, because I was impatient, and I apologize to the Star Wars fans out there. But these were pretty cool, man. They lit up pretty good. I think the green was the brightest one
Oh
of
yeah,
all of them.
yeah. If you were, I remember taking it on a camping trip and we turned that on and everything got blinded within about a 20-foot area.
Right.
The green is just really bright.
So yeah, we were impressed by these, you know, for what they were at the time.
Yeah.
They had cool sound. You know, when you look back now, you're like, holy crap, it was actually pretty bad. Real gravelly sound and whatever. But yeah, we realized quickly that they weren't that great. They were just really cool for display and having, you know, I got a Mace Windu, you know, I got a Luke Skywalker, I got an Anakin. So I'm gonna move some of these.
Well,
and
I think the reason why we jumped on it so quickly is that this is I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but this is a Darth Maul that they came out. It's the first time you can get a hilt like the movie, and this is one with the removed in it, and it looked like it. For this one here was $200. Okay,
Right.
but that's because it's the double bladed. So,
Right.
but $100 you can have an actual hilt that looked like the one in the movie.
Right.
And if you wanted to take the blade out, you take the blade out.
Right,
Only
'cause I
cost
think
you
that's-
$100.
Yeah, I think they started making these with removable blades, but only certain ones.
Yeah, and for a short time until they stopped.
So I'm gonna move these over, and then we're gonna get some other ones in there, so you guys can see some of the other models that they made for this line. And I'll get these out of the way, so forgive me. I'm taking up too much time. All right, let's get those.
So I'm just going to do it in the next 2 years.
All right.
So grab that.
You see them in there?
Yeah.
So these here, if you know your sabers,
These are from the same year.
so this is from 2005?
Six.
6.
Those were 5.
The original ones were 5, these are 6.
Yeah.
So this is Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Yes.
right? From episode 3 and 4.
I think.
Yeah, this is because he had the one I have. for
Okay.
1
Yeah.
and 2. So this is Darth Maul's, separated, but it also has the collar on there, so you can see that, and also Darth Maul's together.
Now these are the same saber. The coloring, if it comes through, the one on the top is a little dingier. I think that's because the ones on the bottom I've had in the box for a longer time. The ones on
Yeah.
top were more exposed to the element. Just like you can see the blades, they all were supposed to be white. Now the two on the bottom are yellow because the filament just went yellow.
So it's actually, okay, so what this is actually a plastic sleeve with a foam insert, okay,
Yeah,
on
I
inside
think the
of that.
foam is what.
Well, this is actually the sleeve. So this actually is a discoloration of the plastic, as well as the white plastic inside here. So it's a thing that happens, because it happened to my Mace too. So is it just a thing that happens with these Master Replica Force FX? It's just one of those things that just eventually through time, because you didn't have them out, you never had them in the sun, you never had them in any windows.
No.
This is just sitting in the box and aging.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, you know, we're all Saber fans, you know, so we, you know, you get what you like, you get what you want to, you know, you have.
Yeah.
Do any of these turn on?
The Maul does.
The little one,
Both
right?
of them.
Okay, so I'm going to turn this on for a second just so you guys can kind of see and hear what the sound was for them at the time. And I believe
Top red button.
it's the top red, okay. So that's Maul. Here you have the sounds. You have flash sounds. You have startup, humming, clash, and then you have shutdown. Now, because this is a string of LEDs,
I'm gonna do it from this side because your arm was kind of blocking it.
yeah,
So here's the start up. Start up. You can see the difference.
Yeah, the
and
colors.
actually the discoloration made it a little
redder. This
redder.
one's redder, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can actually see the space between the LEDs too. It's kind of funny.
So now we're going to turn off.
So you can see the nice thing about having a string of LEDs is it actually shows them going down to the hilt and then coming out from the hilt. Whereas the ones we're going to talk about later, you turn them on and it's on.
Yeah.
You know, they do make.
Well, I mean, if you look at them, at least with mine, it kind of gives it that effect of it dimming a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not the same effect.
Right. So these hilts, I mean, like quality-wise, I think they look really good. My biggest complaint about these, aside from, you know, you can't duel with them, is this is the perfect example. See if I can see it. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi's, but you see how fat this is. This is huge. This is a huge saber.
No.
His saber is not this big.
Well, if you look at, but the difference between the Maul and that one, that one's taking double A's, whereas the Maul takes triple A's.
Right, but also too, at the time they didn't know how to make thin neck sabers.
Well,
so that's why it looks.
Yeah, but
you know, like when you.
I think the blade actually goes all the way down through there too.
Yeah, it goes. So. Yeah, it drops in a bit. But like I said, it's it's as close as you could get at the time to an Obi-Wan Kenobi, aside from buying like an actual replica, a prop replica. When you actually hold a prop, I actually held a prop replica. It's way smaller, way skinnier.
But also for the price. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there making that, but you're talking 120, maybe 130 at the time.
Right. No, and that was my point. Like with these, despite the sound quality, the light quality, you know, the different the sizes, you know, they were really well made for the time. And again, these were not meant to saber duel with. None of that stuff. They were meant for display.
Yeah.
Period. They were just meant to put on your shelf and say you had a saber. Boom. You could turn it on, show it off, swing it around, whatever, make the cool noise. And that's what we did. But we also do it with them. We didn't follow the instructions.
You could lightly duel with them and it will clash sound. That's one thing I'll give it. That you didn't have to smack them to get the clash. A light tap will do it. You're still going to scuff up the blade. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's what they intended for them. Like if you tap them, that's what it was for. But we were just beating the hell out of them.
We were smacking them and doing all kinds of dumb stuff with them. We've gone. How many of these have you gone through actually?
None.
You haven't destroyed any?
No. We had one that got slammed in a real heavy metal door, but that was it. Yeah, like I said, I think my Return of the Jedi Luke has a blade not a blade, an LED going out on it. It's either out or dim, but I'm not going to sell them, so I don't really care about resale value.
Right. And like I said, force effects. The size issues with some of the sabers, the LEDs limited. I think there's like 60 LEDs or something in here like that.
I don't remember that.
It's not a lot. There's guys that make them now with string LEDs, like the Makoto lightsabers. You're talking like hundreds of LEDs in there. They figured out the way to do that. They're super bright. I think they're the brightest on the market. I don't know. Right now,
But also LED technology has advanced too.
Right. So now, we got a whole new style of saber building, and a ton of companies making them. If you're a saber fan, you're gonna be in love with these things. So let's move these over, and then we'll put out the last of these effects guys. You don't have any regrets to buying these guys?
No, not really.
No. Despite it, I don't either. For what the time was when we got them, man, it was like they were pretty badass. So, not sure if you guys can see them on here. I'll adjust it in a second, give you guys a better view. But we've got, what year is these?
The two that you're pointing to are 2007.
Okay, so 2007, and this is the 2007. 15? Okay. So we have Yoda's saber.
That one turns on.
Okay, I'll get to that in a sec. It's actually smaller. I mean, it's still big comparative to the actual prop, but it's smaller. It's actually, and the
blade's thinner.
The blade's thinner. And then we have, this is Luke Skywalker from A New Hope. So episode 4, Luke Skywalker. Can you see them in there? Let me make sure I'm not.
Yeah, no, I
Okay,
made sure.
good. And this is the Kylo Ren crossguard saber, which everybody hates, you know, but it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool saber. And a lot of people, I remember when this movie came out, dude, people were like, there's no effing way that would make sense. He would cut his hand off, all that crap.
And then
we went to the Star Wars convention.
Well, no, the video of Ray Park came out.
Right, like Ray Parks basically, and he did it at the convention too. He demonstrated this saber in use and was able to wield this saber fluidly with no problem. So if you're trained, it should not be a problem.
Well, I mean, it's just a crossguard.
Yeah.
So
You got to train with a crossguard in mind. So it turns out it's not as bad as idea as everybody originally thought it was. All the haters. And I think I've said it in one of my videos before, as much hate as Kylo Ren got from people, the fans, you know, haters, whatever. Dude, outside of the troopers and the common characters like Leia, Chewbacca, you know, X-Wing pilots, there were more Kylo Ren costumes than anything else. Like,
or people just carrying his saber.
yeah. So,
Right.
I mean, there was a little kid with a really cool Kylo Ren costume. I was like, dude, that is not just a throwaway character. He's a badass character. He just didn't get any credit, no props or whatever. But anyway, back to the sabers. So, this Yoda turns on. Let me turn that guy on. You can see the green. It's pretty bright.
There, what's it? Oh, you gotta. This one you gotta.
Gotta hit it. Gotcha.
It takes a little bit more. I'll turn the light down. You know, just real quick.
We'll shut the light off just so you can see how bright it is.
Yeah, you gotta hit it more closer to the hill.
Closer to the hill.
So
Okay.
now I'm gonna turn this one off,
Okay.
and then we're gonna compare it to the red. Now you can see it's got more LEDs, but now we're to turn the green on, and you can just see it overpowers
Yeah,
it.
it actually floods it out.
And
Wow.
that's just the Yoda one. Now imagine this one here in the middle, that's because that's the same size as Luke's, being green.
Right.
So it really just kind of takes over.
Yeah. I really like the way that one turns on and shuts off. It's very cool. Yeah, I mean, you can see. Am I in there so they can see it?
Yeah.
All the little details. Again, this hilt is huge because Corbeth makes one now that's actual scale size, and you know, it's easier to hold. This one's really big, really heavy. It's a huge saber. I mean, it's cool. Again, these are great. Like, as you know, just sit on the shelf and go, that's Luke Skywalker's. You know it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no doubt about it.
Guys, take care, okay?
You know,
Bye, Rob.
Bye.
we have some company.
Congratulations. Talk to you soon.
What is that a little button? No,
That's
it's just
the on-off button.
No, I know, but I mean those little.
Oh, they're just
green-
little green
the little
plastic
green
things.
things, and it's actually got rubber here, which is cool. I always thought that was cool. That all the parts that are supposed to be rubber are actually rubber. But yeah, that's, you know, again, for what they were and are, it's not bad. How much did you pay for Kylo Ren's?
I don't remember.
We got it at the convention.
Yeah, it was
Like,
under 200.
Yeah.
I think it was 150 because I bought two of them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think he gave us
Because
a
the guy
deal.
wanted 200 apiece, but I was like, nope.
No, you know what it was? Because it was two. It was like 320 or 340. So it was just a little over 150 a piece, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm going to move these over, and then we're going to get into the newer style lightsabers that are being made by companies like Saber Forge, Ultra Saber, Saber Forge, and then custom built.
Well, you also have
Sabers.
Kyber Light, which I know some people have an issue with, but $200, you're getting a lot. I mean, it might not
Well,
be
yeah,
durable, but you're
No,
getting a lot.
we'll go over that too because I got some stuff to say about that too. But I'm gonna put out my Saber Forge. I can't remember what the name is. Where's your Saber Forge? I want to say it's the Avenger. But anybody who knows, obviously Saberforge can't use the names because it's licensing. But the Avenger is actually the Obi-Wan Kenobis from episode 1 and 2. Now, I got mine weathered. And then Rob has the Saberforge.
I couldn't tell you. I don't remember.
Damn it. I apologize. I know that I remember, it's at the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember it. But basically, Saberforge is a company that basically machines these hilts. And they put in LEDs and they put in sound, which is supposed to be a better, complement or version of the master replicas. And they are, if you compare it to those, but I didn't get sound put in mine because I just couldn't afford, $250 at one time. So I actually bought mine on Etsy from their Etsy shop for about $150. Just the hilt with light, nothing else. And I got a purple blade or a purple LED because, I like purple. I'm a fan of purple. So for the amount of money, I actually paid for the weathering as well. But when I got the Saber, there was not much weathering on there, and it actually rubbed off a lot from just handling the Saber. Just playing around with it or whatever. But what you're seeing here, this one here actually has the factory weathering, and it was done beautifully. I mean, I actually was expecting this when I got mine, but that's not what I got. I got like a half-ass weathering job, and Rob's has actually stayed on there pretty good even after use. Mm-hmm. And he's handled this a lot, but it's stayed on there really good. I don't know, maybe they didn't seal mine, or I don't know.
I don't know. Well, it looks like what they did with mine is they coated it and then ran it under like a buffer belt.
A buffer belt,
wheel.
yeah, because that's exactly what, yeah.
And it just looks like yours is, they didn't let the paint dry when they did it originally.
Yeah, because it was like there was nothing on there barely, and I was a bit frustrated. And then we came across a Saber group, who a group of people who, Saber enthusiasts, fanatics, just like us, And we met a guy, my buddy Larry. Shout out Larry Randall. This
is an Epoch.
Epoch, okay. Larry, Saberforge Epoch. Same cost too, right? It was like $150.
Yeah.
Okay. So we met Larry and a bunch of other guys, and it was a cool thing because it was a group of people who were into the same stuff. You know how that is. You guys know what it's like to meet, like-minded friends. Turns out Larry was sabersmith, so he's really good at putting these things together, modifying internals, taking out, standard electronics, upgrading electronics, things like that. We had bought these sabers, and he was like, "Oh, you guys should have bought just a hilt, and I could have customized them for you. That way, you didn't spend as much money on not as good stuff." Now, these are 12-watt LEDs, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like, they were 12-watt when we first got them.
No, those are different.
Yeah, there's 12 watts of power, but they weren't very bright. Like, okay, they were way brighter.
No. When I got mine and yours, they were a single color.
Right, that's what I'm saying, but they were still 12 watt.
Yeah.
So it was like however, there was one LED, but it was a 12 watt LED from what they were saying. There was no sound. We had no carriage. We just had a big lithium ion battery in there. We got in touch with Larry. Larry says, "You know what, I'll hook you guys up." We were going to the convention, so we wanted to have something nice to, have at the convention and just show off. Anybody who has sabers knows. We also had costumes, so we wanted to do it right. So Larry hooked us up with some pretty cool stuff. And this is just like I said, this is the kind of stuff you can get into with these things, buying these sabers, you know, and having them customized your way. So both these sabers have NEC Spark 2 boards, Tricrete XP E2 Copper Nova LEDs. They have Hydrain Orbitronics, excuse me if I make a mistake here, 18650 10A LiPo batteries, which really makes a big difference in time to use these things and quality of light. This one was custom weathered by Larry. He actually saw that I was really disappointed with the way they weathered it from the factory, so he took it upon himself to weather it for me. He did light a powder coating and some weather. I mean, you can see, it speaks for itself that the custom job is phenomenal. He also added, he has a modded Railmaster 28mm bass speaker, which is extremely loud. Most of the sabers we came across at the convention, if I'm not mistaken, ours were brighter and louder.
Yeah.
And people were just like, how did you do that? It was like, my boy Larry hooked us up. Custom boot sounds. You know, he actually added, you know, favorable sounds for us because we wanted specific sounds. The chassis, both chassis in here are 3D printed from a friend of his. Rob's is red, mine's is purple, which is really cool. You know, he also added these. Rob's not going to have this, but this here is the charge port, also the kill key. So you pop this in, and you don't have to worry about your saber turning on an accident or anything like that.
Okay, so this is a photo I have. It's of me and a couple other cosplayers. I want to say she's got a Force Effects. And
We can also bring one down too and show the difference
well,
between yours and that one.
I also want to show the difference
Bring
in
your-
the picture it takes too.
Yeah, bring your maul. Bring your maul, and then you'll see. I'll show you guys huge difference in these two sabers and how they light up. So here, are we in picture there?
Yes.
Okay.
Why don't you move up a little bit?
Okay. All right. So here's Maul from Master Replica. Okay. Let's set this like this. It doesn't rolling. Now here's the Saber Forge custom build. Like, this one doesn't even look on anymore.
No.
You can't even see it. You can't even hear it. Like,
No. It's totally overpowered.
it's completely washed out. So,
Here's I got a picture. I'm gonna show off on my phone real quick. To see, I don't remember. I think I had the day blade on for that one.
yeah. I think we both did at the time.
Yeah, but this is what it looks like in the picture. How bright the actual background. Now you're talking about a convention center with a lot of real bright lighting, and it's reflecting all on that. I think that was just a backdrop that they had with like a helmet, like a Rebel helmet. So just kind of give you an idea how bright he got those. Now,
Yeah, and these are day blades. Now, the day blades on these two are from Vader's Vault, which is another company. Makes custom sabers, really nice custom sabers. As far as I'm concerned, like some of the better looking, even though they only have like a really limited line, like they have like maybe 6 sabers. I don't know. I haven't seen their website lately, but a buddy of
I don't know,
ours,
but they're very simplistic
they're very
in design,
basic. Yeah,
but they do look very durable.
the finishes are real nice. Our buddy, a buddy of ours, Ricky Bobby, that's what we call him, picked one up, spent about $600-700, no, like $500. It was up there. It was up
It
in
was
the,
about 600.
yeah, it was about $600 for one completely customized with, you know, changing LED colors, multiple sound fonts.
A lot of sound fonts,
It was, yeah,
yeah.
it was really cool. And you know, these actually, you can plug these into your computer and actually change the fonts yourself if you wanted to. You could actually, you know, customize the sound fonts to whatever you want, whatever sound bites you want. You can put on there, and that's what you'll have, which makes these, again, it makes them really, really versatile and flexible. So he went out and spent, like I said, Vader's Vault makes a bunch of stuff. They make day blades, really cool. They're a little bit, they come a little ground in, so that kind of is a little bit more light reflective. But I sanded them down a bit, because remember they were like real rough and gouged and stuff. So a little bit of advice, don't use your saber day blades from Vader's Vault to duel with at all. That's a nice big dent I put in mine the first night we got them, because of course we wanted to duel with them, which one of the big points I wanted to make, these sabers are dual worthy. The blades that they come with, the V4 Infinity blades that they came with from Saberforge, these blades, that's these blades here, these are very durable polycarbonate blades. I mean, they're thick, you know, there's a lot of, they actually have diffusion paper in there. This is actually, Saberforge glues their paper in, you know. But yeah, these are tough ass blades. We cracked each other a couple times, and they leave welts, but they're not damaging. But Vader's Vault does make dueling blades. These were just for day blades, for showing, you know, going to conventions and showing off and things like that. But these, like I said, these two hilts are from Saberforge. Let me see if we can. See if I can turn on activation switch. Yours is still probably going to flush it out.
Not as bad.
Not as bad though. But they do have all our sounds. You have the locking blades sound. The deflecting sounds. Let's turn that off. So there's
You got to hold them real still, or else they'll think you're trying to do the flash and clash.
The flash deflecting stuff, yeah. So, you know, really well done, but I think they were done. These two are way better than they would have been had we just left them with the Saberforge internals. Not that, you know, it's terrible. They're actually better than the Force Effects, but the quality of sound when we got these is just so phenomenal. When he put those soundboards in, Larry just did a great job with these. I'm going to show you one of my other. So this is my Darth Maul variant. You know, I think they call them Menaces. These are from Ultra Saber. These are the Menace. I got them with the high brushed finish because I wanted a Darth Maul, and I actually bought a coupler separate to put these two together, obviously to make the saber staff. Again, this time I just bought the hilts empty because my boy Larry said don't buy any internals, don't buy no lights, nothing, and I'll customize them for you and we'll do all that stuff. So you can see you can take the blades out really quick. It's just a matter of popping in an LED, popping it out, or a screw, sorry, popping a little screw here, throw the blade in, holds it nice and tight, or if you want to carry it on your belt. What do you mean?
No, I was going to say, this is what he's trying to say.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So you just pop it in and out. See if you can see that in there, Rob. But
Yeah.
we actually have blade plugs, they're called. You can actually buy it to fill in the space in the saber hilt, so that if you want to just carry it on your belt, you've got your carry hook, you know. You actually buy one of these, you just click that on there like that, and it stays. They don't move. They don't move. They don't come off. They would, I mean, they turn, but you would be hard pressed to actually break one of these. But that's how you carry it on your Jedi belt. But yeah, That's one of the blade plugs. I've actually picked up a couple separate blade plugs for different sabers. And like I said, I mean, you can, all this stuff is customizable. You can get them, people will make these super cheap, you know, and you just pick it up, throw it in your saber. And now you've got a blade plug. I want to see how bright this is compared to your super bright saber. Well, this isn't going to be very bright. So let's...
You want to just...
I'm going to pop this off. This actually, I'll talk about this real quick. So this blade, it's a day blade. I got this from Light Sabers. They were having a sale on day blades, and I needed day blades for the mall. So they were like 20 bucks a piece, shipped. So that was really good. Like, it was a good deal. Only thing is, it didn't come with any diffusion paper. So it's just a clear blade. I'll pick up the diffusion paper later, but you can see the difference between Bader's vaults and Kyber. Kyber's, it's pretty solid. I still wouldn't duel with it. Supposedly, this plastic is their dueling plastic. So you should be able to duel, according to the website, this is the same plastic they use for their clear ones. So it should be duelable. I haven't done it. I don't know if I will. I wanted to get my sabers finished, and I'll probably buy some diffusion paper for it, just to finish the look. But I'm gonna see.
Well, we could do both, just the regular blades.
Yeah, the day blades on both. So here's my kill key. Okay. So yeah, you can actually see that this one actually has 2 red LEDs and 1 yellow. This one has 2 red LEDs and 1 white. You can actually see the difference, because I wanted a more orangey blade, so he gave me that look. Same sound card, same board, same speakers, same LEDs, you know. My buddy Larry, so it's not bad. Not too bad. Oh, yeah, it's pretty loud, yeah. Here, I'll shut this one off. You can see they're really loud, and they're really bright. Because you got some Rob's got fluorescent lighting in the basement here, so you know it's pretty bright in here. But this is what you could get, you know, as far as the sabers on the market right now. There's a company called the Custom Saber Shop, where I actually picked up all the parts for my Mace Windu conversion that sells hilt parts, so you can build a completely unique hilt just from the parts that they have. And Light does that too. That's the thing that Light offers, is when you buy a Light, if you buy the full package, you're gonna get like
I think they're like their main hilts the same. It's just that they have accessory pieces,
all the stuff, yeah, the slide on parts, the pommels, the emitters, all the stuff. You can change all of it to make it look,
I mean, I know some people are like, but I'm like, it's $200 and you get everything.
Exactly.
It's just, if you're not going to duel or whatnot, you just want photos, it's good.
Yeah.
In my eyes. I mean,
So I was telling my buddy Larry, you know, my boy Larry Randall again, hooked us up. I wanted one that I could duel with only, with no sound, just the full lighting, just dueling. I wanted to be able to smack it around. But I had criterias. You know, I told him, I said, it's got to be this long. It's got to be smooth. I can't have any boxes or gribblies on there. So, you know, because, you know, these sabers are really cool. I mean,
Dark Order.
Rob's is actually really nice because if you look, it's very smooth. There's nothing really impeding your use of the saber. But this Maul one,
Dark. Now you'll see what a Sith is capable of.
And by the way, that just changed the sound. So here.
yeah, completely. That's actually louder than the last one.
The startup is, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys can see here, there's a lot of like, this is not a very comfortable saber. They made it for looks, not really for use. I mean, Ray Parks even had one that just had the paint on there to make it look like buttons, but it was just painted on. But I actually had Larry build me another saber from the ground up using parts from the custom saber shop. So, you know, I told him I was a fan of Obi-Wan's, so I've got the grenade and the pommel. But he gave me a smoother body with a longer neck so I could have a high choke. So when I actually duel with the saber, I can choke up high on it, or I can spread my hands apart, or I can swing low. Can you see that there? Yeah. And I've got a kill key in there, just like the rest. You know, there's no sound in this one because I specifically requested no sound. Because when you're dueling, you don't need sound. You just, you know, you're just training, sparring, or whatever. But it also has a bright LED in there. You know, I wanted the blue. You know, but this is, like I said, this is what you could get with customizing sabers, or just getting the parts and having someone build it yourself. This also is open to add sound if I want it. Larry could just drop in the chassis, drop in the sound card, and the board, and I'll have sound. So that I think that's all of them, right?
Yep.
So I have the old ones for nostalgia. Rob's got some Master Replicas, Force Effects. He's actually got a really nice display up for them. Maybe we can tilt the camera.
I'll put this one up.
Now you'll see. Saber tracks.
You'll probably have to hold up. Turn this one. There you go. And there's Rob's X-Wing painting. You can tell Rob's a Star Wars fan.
Sorry, I never worked this tripod.
Alright, just turn it. Can you see?
I have no clue. Yeah.
So there's his saber display as it is right now. But, you know, he's been collecting them for a long time, as have I. And they're great, you know, for display, but we wanted to get a little bit more involved and have a little bit more advanced opportunities with these sabers. And that's where the custom ones came in. You know, you good?
I'm getting like half of them.
That's all right. You can pan it a little bit too.
No, it's...
Yeah, that's all right. You guys get the point. We'll go back to this display here. There you go. Sorry, I want to get a quick detach camera set up. I'll get one soon. But yeah, I mean, you know, when you can do all this stuff to your sabers, you start to think, is it worth putting that kind of money in? Rob, what do you think? I mean,
To each his own on that, to be honest with you. I mean, it's all what you want to do with it. It goes back to anything. I mean, I think you can still get the Master Replica ones
yeah, I
for
think
what, maybe $120, $130.
yeah, they re-released a bunch of them.
Yeah, so I mean,
at Target.
if you just want something simple, you can go with that. And then there's YouTube videos out there that tells you how to take them apart and take the blades out. So if you just want the hilt, or you can go with one of these companies and just get the hilt. You don't even have to get anything in it if you just want a hilt.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go full balls out. You could find a saber group if you want somebody to do it specifically. But honestly, you know, if you're having somebody else do it, make sure they're reputable, because they don't have to warranty anything. I mean, if you go
True,
through the
yeah,
company,
absolutely.
something, you know, I know they have issues with going through the company and not getting back in a timely manner or whatnot, but at least it's warranty. You know, if something happens. I mean, a lot of times these guys, I think they are nicer, but some of them, you just don't know. So just do your homework if you're going to have somebody build it for you. But if you want to smack around or whatnot, I'd say go with one of the non-licensed ones, just because you're not dealing with those LEDs.
Right.
And then,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you break a blade, all right, it's maybe $40 to replace this day blade versus anything else.
Yeah, I think those were 40. The Vader's Vault were like, yeah, they were $40 a
Around
piece.
$40, yeah.
Yeah, I remember because I ordered them. I was like, whoa. But they're nice. They
Yes.
actually worked out really well. And the Kyber Light ones, like I said, I got. You know, I was like, all right, I'll just grab them real quick. I needed one for my mall. But it's cool. I mean, it's pretty solid. I just need to get a diffusion paper for it, and I'll do that eventually soon. But yeah, I think I don't regret any purchases on any of these. I did have some questions when I first bought the Saber Forge one. I was like, damn, I don't know if I did the right thing. Then we met that group, and they were like, man, you shouldn't have done that. But whatever. I mean, I wanted Obi-Wans.
I mean, yeah, they said you shouldn't have done that, but the one I picked, I went through a lot of them.
Yeah.
And once I saw was the Ultra Saber one, the Reaper or something like that,
Yeah.
and saw how big those sabers were, I'm like, I don't want that.
Right. Yeah.
And then I saw this, and I'm like, all right, that's the size and what I kind of want. So it's
Right,
like,
right.
okay, yeah, it might be the best saber in the market, but it's not huge. It's in line actually with like the Mace Windu.
yeah.
I mean, the Mace Windu is a little thicker, but not by much.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, it's to each his own in that. I mean, people all have opinions on stuff, because there's people who don't like Kyber Light.
Right.
But,
Right. No. There's
I mean-
there's people who boycott Saberforge because there was a whole bunch of issues with their like customer service and
Especially
production.
around episode 7.
Like, I'll be honest, when I bought this Saberforge, it was full of burrs. There were remember that there were
Yeah.
a lot of like it was like here there's unfinished
Well,
metal.
when we got these,
You know, but-
I think 3 or 4 months, maybe, before episode 7 came out.
Yeah.
So everybody was rushing to get sabers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Even the Ultra Sabers though, it's like there's a lot of burrs here. It's really sharp edges. You know, the custom one, no. This one actually is real smooth.
well, he probably did that.
He did that, yeah, and that's the thing. Going with that opportunity, you know, taking that opportunity, he made it specifically to my needs. And I told him I was gonna swing this thing around. I was gonna duel it,
Yeah.
whatever. So I didn't want to catch any burrs. I didn't want to fucking cut my hands. None of that stuff. And he made it precisely the way I needed it.
Yeah, so
which,
he buffed it down.
Yeah, which to me that's the value of going custom.
My only issue is that you're spending that much money for aluminum, basically a fancy mag light. Is
Yeah.
what it comes down to.
Oh, yeah.
You could buff out the sharp edges.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Like, take a little more time. You'll get a little bit more customer support. As far as the companies go, I mean, I got my opinions about each one. I mean, whatever, but they provide something that only thing we had for was Master Replica.
Yeah.
You know, so all these different companies now make it. I actually have a buddy. He's got his own company. It's called Shoot First Props, I want to say. Joe, he's on Facebook if you want to check him out. Shoot First Props Replicas. He actually makes sabers, but he makes even more affordable PVC sabers. So he uses a PVC pipe as a base, and he 3D prints the hilt parts to go around the PVC. He's actually added sound, custom lighting, you know, anything you want he can do, but he can do it at a fraction of the cost of some of these, like, you know, an $80 hilt versus a $200 hilt, or a $100 hilt, $200 hilt.
It's just called Shoot First. That's
Yeah.
the Facebook page.
Yeah,
But it is, the whole thing is Shoot First cosplay weapons.
there you go. And he actually does blasters now. He's actually got like some cool Stormtrooper blasters, and the guy is, I mean, he's come up a lot. We used to airsoft with him. He was actually a really good friend of ours up in Wisconsin. So if you get a chance, check him out, man. He's got some cool stuff out there. I'm actually going to do a video of some of his sabers as soon as I get a hold of some of them. He's supposed to send me some out soon, and when I do, I'll get out there and I'll put the videos out for you guys to see. But if you're on a real budget, you know, I have some friends that just, they want sabers, they love them, they just can't afford them. Joe provides that gap. Like he really, you know,
He even makes some of the big blasters too.
yeah, he's got that full on, that heavy Stormtrooper blaster he just put out. But like I said, he bridges the gap between high end, custom built sabers and master replicas. You know, they're plastic, but they're affordable. They're durable because I've seen him duel with them. I've seen people smack each other with them. So, and I'm gonna, when I get his hilts, I'm gonna run them through those tests. I'm gonna make sure.
And it looks like the nice thing about his props is they look real enough
Yeah,
to make, you know, what it is, but they also look fake enough that you don't have that issue.
Is that
like
a
with
real
airsoft
MG42?
weapon? Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
airsoft weapons. Is that an actual Luger that you didn't know? Okay.
Right.
So that's the nice thing about it.
Right. It doesn't look big and clunky like a Nerf gun,
Yeah.
but it doesn't look, you know, full on
Authentic,
steel.
you know, World War
MG
II
right.
Luger. So
MG42 Luger, stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, check him out. Give him a shout out. Tell him Zero sent you. You know, he might hook you up with something. I don't know if he's gonna give you a discount. I'll talk to the guy. But yeah, if you order a saber from Joe, just tell him Zero sent you. He'll know what that means. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think we've covered almost everything we have and everything we think about these sabers. But like I said, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know, this is something definitely worth having. You know, I feel like when I display these at home, when we walked around the convention, it was cool, man. It got a lot of compliments. You know, a lot of people wanted to know where we got them, what we did to them. You know, and I didn't even know that market existed. It wasn't until I decided to fix my Mace Windu or replace it that I learned about the whole custom saber world. But
yeah.
if you're interested, just Google search. You should be able to find anything you're looking for. They got a lot of stuff on that internet. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Rob, you got anything else you want to add?
Nope.
No? All right, well, I mean, that's it for now until I can get my hands on some of Joe's sabers. But as soon as that happens, I'll post a video about that. But if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you've gotten some of these hilts, what are your thoughts on Saber Forge, Ultra Saber, Kyber Light, Vader's Vault? Let me know. Just put it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys.